Alright, so today we are going to use some of the most useful features of cursorai IDE. In order to download this IDE, all that you need to do is go to cursor.com and click on download. So once after you download, you will be able to choose which model that you wanted to use. And not all the models here are free, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to use Cursor Small, which is free to use. So far, I have seen the best results with Claude 3.5 Sonnet model. In order to make things easy to follow, I have divided this into 3 sections. First, generate code using commands within the context of file. Second, generate code within the context of the whole project. Third, within the terminal. Now the project that we are going to implement today is encoding and decoding JSON files. Now you can imagine the input as JSON string and the output as decoded string. On the other hand, we should also be able to give the decoded string and get back the original result. Now as part of this, I created a couple of Java files which are empty. Now the first section is generate code using AI commands within the context of file. So here I wanted to implement encoding and decoding functionality. So there are 3 ways to generate code within the context of file. The first way is autocomplete feature. As soon as you start typing, it shows the autocomplete features. And if you like what it is recommending, all that you need to do is click on tab. And as you can see, I clicked on tab, so it generated the class name along with the encode and the decode functionality all together. How awesome is this? So if you are satisfied with this recommendation, all that you need to do is again click on tab. This is the first way. And second way, you can actually ask AI chatbot in order to generate the code for you. So I'm clicking on Ctrl Z to undo everything. So on click of Ctrl L, it opens the chat box here and it adds the context of the file. Now in here, you can ask a prompt to generate the code for you. Let's see how the AI responds. So I'm asking implement encode and decode functionality. Click on enter. Now the awesome thing about the AI chat feature is it not only generates the code here for you, but it also gives you explanation. And now if you're satisfied about this particular code, all that you need to do is click on apply button and continue. So it will show you the diff of what was there before, which is an empty file, versus what it is recommending. Now, if you are satisfied with this particular recommendation, you can click on accept. So it will copy and paste to that particular file. Now, if you wanted to know more about this, like you don't know what is base64, you can ask follow-up questions as part of this chat window. I'm asking, tell me about base64. So this is another amazing feature. It explains in a very naive fashion. So even though if you're starting to code, it's very easy to learn as well as implement parallelly. So it tells about key points, what is a character set, what is the purpose of it, and how we can use it, and the efficiency along with examples. So this is second way to generate the code. Now the third way to generate the code within the context of the file is, if you wanted to implement decoding functionality here, you can click on Ctrl+K and then ask to implement decode functionality. So if you are satisfied with this particular code generation, you need to click on accept. Now, if you wanted to test this functionality, I'm asking AI to write test cases here. So as you can see, it generated public static void main along with some input and decoded output. So I'm clicking on accept and clicking on running the file. We can see the input as hello world. This is the encoded string and this is the decoded string. It's that simple. Now this is within the context of file. The second part of the section within the context of whole project. Now I am deleting all the code that is generated by AI here. The second way is to use Composer. For that, I need to click on Ctrl+I, which opens the Composer terminal here. As part of this, I can tell AI to implement the whole project for me. And the project that we wanted to implement today was to encode and decode JSON strings. So let's ask AI and see how it responds. As part of Composer terminal, I'm giving instructions AI, something like, I want you to implement encoder and decoder functionality. I also want you to implement JSON parser where the input is JSON string and the output is encoded string. Use encode and decoder functionality that you implemented in step 1. Write unit tests. Let's see what the AI responds. As you can see, it used the existing files encoder and decoder, also JSON parser. It also created encoder and decoder test.java along with JSON parser test.java. Now, what you can do is go to each and every file and see the diff. So encoder and decoder looks fine to me. Here are the unit tests and JSON parser test. If everything looks okay to you, all that you need to do is click on accept all, where it will save the generated code across all the files together at once. Now I see some of the errors here. In order to resolve this, you can ask AI to fix these bugs. So either you can hover over to the error and then click on AI fix in chat, or you can click on quick fix and import the respective libraries. Now here I imported via quick fix. Same way here. So let's try this feature AI fix in chat. Now here it shows, to resolve the error, ensure that you have JUnit library included in your project dependencies. If you are using Maven, add the following dependency to your POM. So it is asking us to import this particular missing library. So that way you can actually fix the errors without even writing a single code by yourself, but by asking AI to fix the original root cause. So you can use AI as like a proper guide as someone you are doing pair programming with. Now, the other way to fix the errors was directly in Composer, you can ask to fix all the errors. So I'm asking Composer to fix all the compilation errors. Now, as you can see, it suggested the missing libraries and how to fix it. Now, if you're satisfied with this, all that you need to do is click on accept all. So I'll be fixing these libraries later, but the next part of this section is to use AI within the terminal. In order to show you this, I'm going to ask within the context of the file to generate test case and then compile this file so that it will fail because of the library dependency. And then I will show you how to fix this in terminal. Clicking on Control K, write unit test here. This looks good, and then accept, then click on run. Here, obviously you can see that there is an exception because there are missing libraries, like object mapper is missing. Now this is one such error, but there could be more runtime or compile time exceptions that you can see while building the project. All that you need to do is click on debug with AI. So it opens in the terminal and it tells what exactly is the error and how to resolve this error. So here are 3 different ways in order to generate the code within the context of the file, within the context of the whole project, within the context of the terminal. Now let's fix this library dependencies and run the project. Now let's click on Ctrl I, which opens the Composer, and then you can ask how to fix the dependencies. So it is suggesting us to add some kind of dependencies to pom.xml. So basically this is for Maven. Now I'm asking it to create pom.xml with all the required dependencies. Alright, so as you can see, I installed Maven and the respective dependencies using pom.xml. Encoder and decoder, JSON parser is working just fine as expected. If you have enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for my next tutorials. Until then, happy coding.